Well, my colleague Eric Schatzker is attending the National Urban League Conference in Chicago, where Bank of America CEO Ken Lewis is speaking this afternoon. Eric, what's in store today?
Well, as far as Bank of America's CEO Ken Lewis is concerned, he's going to be talking about the things that Bank of America is doing to help the economy. Among them, for example, mortgage modifications, extending more loans to small businesses. This, of course, is the National Urban League. They're focused on issues for minorities, for example, minority-owned businesses. Ken Lewis also going to share with us his views on the economy, speak specifically about the prospects for GDP growth and unemployment. Betty?
Okay, Eric, and also you've got a special guest with you as well, Illinois State Treasurer.
Absolutely. Alexi Giannoulias. He's here with me today. He's just announced recently that he is running for President Obama's Senate seat. Of course, it was vacated by the president, but he is, as I mentioned, currently the state treasurer of Illinois, and that's what we want to talk to him about this morning. Alexi, great that you could join us. Let us talk about the budget situation in Illinois. Fitch Ratings yesterday coming out with some pretty damning remarks about the state of Illinois finances, downgrading some of Illinois' general obligation bonds, and I just want to read to you a couple of passages from the statement. For example, the enacted budget relies heavily on non-recurring revenues, particularly the use of debt to finance current operations, which will contribute to continued difficulty in structuring a balanced budget in the future. What Fitch is effectively saying is that you guys are borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, borrowing from the future to pay the present. How much longer can that continue before Illinois runs into difficulties financing its obligations?
Well, that's too late. We've already run into difficulties, and unfortunately this is a problem that's been going on for years. Overborrowing, not fundamentally fixing what is a structural deficit. We have an $80 billion unfunded pension liability right now, the largest in the United States. We have a backlog of unpaid bills of about $2.8 billion. The average lag time is about 99 days for social service providers and vendors. We have revenue that's dropped statewide alone about $2.3 billion. And again, for the last 10 or 15 years, the state of Illinois has not made its pension obligation payments every year. They've been enacting fund sweeps, which is essentially going into special funds and stealing the money for general revenue funds. And Fitch, unfortunately, is right on the money when they say that instead of fixing the structural deficit every single year, they just keep on borrowing more and more, and it's finally coming to a head, and the state of Illinois is going to pay a heavy cost, and I've been talking about this for a very long time.
So what does that mean for the state of Illinois as we look to the future? What are the implications of this? What's your view on how it's going to play out?
Well, listen, unless better decisions get made, unless the folks in Springfield start having a long-term perspective on some of these enormous challenges, nothing's going to get done. There's an opportunity a few months ago to pass a budget that would have at least put us on the path to clearing things up. That never took place. And again, that's why we're dealing with this very difficult situation, which is going to cost the state of Illinois a lot of money.
Well, the way that you talk isn't all that unlike what we hear from Governor Schwarzenegger out in California. Do you figure that Illinois is going to have to take some of the extraordinary steps that we've seen California take, such as, say, issuing IOUs?
Well, you know, I really hope not. I don't see that happening. But again, that's not fair to social service providers and vendors, and I hear stories every single day. You know, there are folks who do business with the state of Illinois who expect to be paid in a timely manner, and it's already, again, we have a $2.8 billion backlog of unpaid bills. Hopefully some of the stimulus money will help with some of the Medicaid bills, but again, to rely on the federal government to just not be able to pay your bills on time. So we're not as bad as California, but again, unless decisions are made to fix this structural deficit, the state of Illinois is going to continue to see some large problems.
We've got about 45 seconds left. Obviously, the budget is a mess. What about the economy in general? How healthy is the Illinois economy?
Well, again, like every other state, like on the national level, people are struggling. We have unemployment at 10.3%. That's something that's of enormous concern to me. The good news is, as you know, the Case-Shiller news was pretty good news. We're looking for any good news.
Right. Modest uptick in home prices.
And we're looking for any signs of good news. So unemployment is something that's of grave concern to me. That 10.3 figure does not include underemployment, furlough days, part-time jobs. So we have a lot of work to do.
You certainly do. Good luck in your run for Barack Obama's former Senate seat. That is Illinois State Treasurer Alexi Giannoulias. Betty, I'm sending it back to you in New York City.
Okay, Eric, thanks so much. Eric Katzker there live in Chicago at the National Urban League Conference.